Hi, this is Ramona. Welcome to my channel Floating on Life. Every week for the last year and a half, I have a workshop. The workshop is called Happiness. And of course, I have a happiness group who stays with me for the last year and a half and comes every week. And we share personal thoughts, experiences. We learn from each other. And I like to believe that I help them to go through some key points in their life. This week, as an introduction video, we're going to talk about body, soul, and spirit. And just a bit about myself. I'm a certified Reiki master teacher, which I don't like to brag about too much. But the reason I'm here, it's because myself, I went through quite a few experiences, which I learned a lot from, and I like to believe I passed through them. I come out with honor. And I want to share all those experiences. I want to make more people aware of the fact that it is something that can bring change in your life. There are answers to your questions when you have them. I chose this topic because there is a bit of a misunderstanding between the soul and the spirit. And we're going to take them all in order and we're going to try to explain them and why it's actually good we understand what's going on with them, because it's us. The reason, if you're here now and you're watching me, you must have questions about where do I come from? Why am I here? Where am I going to? Those are really good questions to have. And I have a very good purpose, because we get at some point in our life when we're actually questioning where are we going to. But to understand where we're going to, we need to understand where we're coming from. I'm going back on body, soul, and spirit. We, as human beings on earth, we have the body. Everybody can see it. In our body is the soul. Everybody heard about the soul. Now, soul is the connection between the earth and our body. Because it's connected to the earth, it's connected with everything that is unstable and changeable. We all think, we have a destiny somewhere, we're born, it's there, and it will happen whatever it has to happen. Partly, it's true. We do have a destiny. In our destiny, there are some key points with things that we cannot change. They will happen no matter what we do. How they will happen and what else will happen extra, good or bad, depends on us. We're going to talk about that later as well. Let me go to the spirit. Now, the spirit, the difference between the soul and the spirit. As we said, the soul is the connection between our body and earth. And now the spirit is the connection between the soul and the divinity. The supreme architect is the connection to the place where we're actually coming from. We must come from somewhere. And we must going somewhere. We don't come out of nothing. And when we die, we don't just stop. It's not just finish. We close our eyes and it's done. No. It goes forward. And it goes forward in the future, and it goes forward in the past as well. As I said, the spirit is connected to the divinity, the supreme divinity. If you want to call it God, if you want to call it the supreme architect of the universe, you know what name is the best for you. Now, a sparkle of that place, of that being, of that energy we're coming from. One tiny sparkle, it's inside us, and that's the spirit. We have a permanent connection between us and the supreme architect, God, the supreme spirit, because we have that sparkle from him. That connection can be activated anytime. We are the ones who decide to ignore that sparkle, ignore that connection, but it's there all the time. We also have to realize, if you think about the genealogical tree, where we have all the people, we have our grandparents, mother, fathers, grandparents, great-great-parents, and so long. It can go as many generations as you have. Do one as an exercise. Do your genealogical tree. And then sit back and look at it. It's a beautiful, wide tree with lots of names. The people who once they've been alive and they fought to actually have their grandchildren, which is you, one day for them, to live today. So if we look back at all those people, we do have to realize it's just because they existed, it's been made possible that we are here today. So just when you have some time and sit back, we should share a bit of gratitude to those people, just a simple thank you, looking at all of them, even if you don't know all their names and when they were born, and it's not an exact science. Just say thank you. Now if I go straight into our body emotions, we've been talking about the spirit, the soul, and I go to the body. Body, it's connected, fairly connected and grounded into the earth. And now we have wishes, we have thoughts, and at the same time we have fears, and we have anxieties, and all kinds of emotions, up, down. We live every day different sets of emotions. About the DNA, it's all the genetical luggage, information and language, which is passed from your ancestor to you today. The same way as they pass the color of your eyes, color of your skin, hair, and aptitudes like musician, paintings, and mathematicians. Exactly the same way they pass their fears, their dreams, the anxieties, all of them passing. If you can't see them on the actual diagram on the DNA, believe me, they're there. You wear them with you. The reason that you don't put your hand in the fire is because from the start you get burned. You don't need to actually try to put it to see it's happening. Somebody else put it before you, and that information registers into your brain, and you carry it forward further and further to your children as well. Now, talking about the fears, because that's where I wanted to get. The biggest point of our talking almost every week at a workshop, it's about anxieties and fears and how to get past through. And I'm not saying that you're watching this video today and all your phobias and fears will go away and that's it. That can't be done, not in one session anyway. But I'm telling you so you can start to be conscious about where the fears are coming from and where they're sitting and why they're there. Now, a pretty smart guy, Paul MacLean, was very famous in 1960s. He divided the brain in 3 stages. He talks about the reptilian brain, which is the brainstem and the cerebellum, and is responsible for body's vital functions. The second part is the limbic brain, which is the hypothalamus and amygdala, and that's where the value judgments are taking place. All the unconscious decisions, all your principles as a human being, they're sitting there in the limbic brain. And the third one, and the most evolved one, is the neocortex brain, which represents the 2 cerebral hemispheres, and is responsible of the development of language, learning, thoughts, imaginations, consciousness generally. Now we're going back to the reptilian brain, because he is the main reason that we survive, is the survival brain. If I'm sitting now here and talking to you, and I hear a noise behind myself, the reptilian brain will not even tell me and take time I'm just turning around quickly and I see something going on behind me. Why? Because it's my survival mechanism. Somebody can be behind me and I don't know, something can happen. Now in the reptilian brain, that's the place where all your fears stays. And fear, it's an emotion. Fears have ranges from generalized anxiety to specific phobias. Fear is an unspoken memory stocked in the reptilian brain. And it actually makes the individuals to react rapidly, almost instantly, and is presented in individuals in a greater or a lesser manner. Now, when it's in excess, the consequences are not pleasant. As we know, from fear, the people cannot move out of the houses. From fear, the people don't develop in their life, don't go further in their career, don't have a child, don't get married. There can be lots of blockages because of fear. So we're still staying on fears. And I hope now you have a better understanding about the fear. And the way I found that it works, at least it worked with the people that I tried, is that you have a certain fear. You think about, you're conscious about that fear. And then you have a plan. You have a dream. It's something that you want to do with your life. You take that plan, and instead of thinking of yourself in the future, I'm going to do this in a year, in 3 days, in a week. And you take that plan now because you don't see yourself doing it in a year, in a week, in 2 days. And you take that plan and you think, if I would have done this because I could have in the past, last year, last 10 years ago, I would have been someone. Both of them, the future and the past, they both taken over by the fears of our ancestors. It's there in your reptilian brain. It's holding you tight. It won't let you go. Yeah, they used to sit in caves. They were scared. Don't go at night outside to hunt. Tiger gonna come to eat you. But some point in the day he had to go, and yeah, it happens. Sometimes it came and eat you, but then that's not your ancestor, because you wouldn't be here today. The way you move is that you take that plan, you take that idea, and you do it now. You think of yourself doing it at the present. When you think of yourself at the present, trying to do anything new, to move in any direction, you take that direction, you take that idea, and you put it in the present, because in this moment you're blocking your ancestors, which are all in the past, with their fears for the future, They had a reason to put it there for the future. So all their future generations don't have to go through what they saw, what it saw it was dangerous. We know it's dangerous today. They had to do that for us, and we're grateful for that. So we leave them alone. We block them for our future. We block them from our past, and we think of the present. And now you take yourself in the present and you say, me, myself today and now, I am doing this video, for example. And you do it. Take the first step. Take it and do it. And I think that will be all for the first video. I hope I tickled your imagination and your curiosity, and I hope I'll see you at more videos on Floating on Life. I want to talk more about the soul, spirit, and vibration. What means that, and how we can rise vibration, how we can stay in contact with our vibrational system, if you want to call it, keep rising, because everything we want, and we all want something, no matter how much we have or we don't have. It's on different levels of vibration. So how it's working, how we change our vibration to get to the level of our desire, so we can get it, it can come to us. We talk in the next episodes, and you can subscribe. I would like to, and as well I would like you to leave me some comments. See you next time. Bye bye.